Greek night tonight. So for those of you that don't know, I do have Artemis's Call, which is my ancient Greek-based campaign. And with it, there's a lot of stories and little references to ancient Greek mythology that I made. As a result, I was like, you know what? I could have like little talking segments because I put a lot of research into this campaign to make as many references as possible because I'm a fucking nerd. And thus I decided to like have this to kind of go with it. If you guys did not catch the stream, that is okay. There's no spoilers for the stream usually. And if I do, I'll put a warning right beforehand. And there's always the VODs. You can always go check those. Poor ATAC has to edit my videos. Send your heart out to him. He has to edit my bullshit. So yeah, today's lesson will be about the Titans. Because last session, to give us a little recap, party met, they all hung out. They eventually found out that Zeus is missing and that there's a cult of Typhon running around. And Typhon is one of the Titans. Sort of. I'll explain that later. But yeah, so for tonight we have Typhon talk. Titan talk. Not Typhon. Typhon's one of them. He's not all of them. He's just some. So we have the ancient Greek Titan. Who are the Titans? Technically just the precursor to the gods. They were just as strong, if not stronger. Power over Earth was stronger with Gaia than it was Poseidon. The most well-known are Rhea, Kronos, Uranus, Gaia, Atlas, Prometheus, and Helios. But there's tons more. Like, there's at least 14 Titans. Technically, there's 12 major Titans. And then there's some minor ones. Geez, number 12. Can't imagine what else that would be. That being said, like, literally, I could go on a whole tangent about each one. But honestly, there's so many that I didn't feel like getting into on this one. Because this one, we're trying to get to the juicy stuff, which is Typhon. That being said, we're not going to be talking about most of them. Rhea, Kronos, those are the parents of Zeus. That's why they're important. Uranus and Gaia, they were the heavens and the earth. Atlas, of course, most people know him. He's the one that carries the earth on his back. Yes, that's technically a Titan. Prometheus as well was a Titan, for those that didn't know. The first person to steal fire from the gods and bring it back to humanity. Like, he was just sneaky like that. He was a little tricky. He was a little goofy like that. And then Helios, who is the sun, I believe? Pretty sure sun. Because there's like 3 other types that go with Helios. Helios has like 2 siblings that do similar things, and it's like, huh? One question that people ask is like probably where they come from. The answer is no one fucking knows. From Chaos, they just came 3 of the Titans, Gaia, Tartarus, and Eros. Chaos being just like creation energy in general. He's in Hades. It's fucking weird. I love it. Essentially from that point, Gaia gave birth to like most of the other ones, starting with the mountains, the seas, and the sky, which you guys might remember as being Uranus. Yeah, a lot of weird parent-child couples, cousins, aunts. Ancient Greece is just Alabama in ancient history. Prehistoric Alabama, that's what it was. Anyway, so Gaia gave birth, and with Uranus, she had 12 more children. 12 more Titan children, specifically. She also had 3 Cyclops children, and 3, I'm gonna butcher saying this word, Hecatonecuries? Hecatonecuries. That's how we're gonna pronounce it. It's the heteros. We're just gonna call them the heteros. We're just gonna call them the giants. Because they were 50-headed and 100-armed giants. That's what they were. I should have saw the picture of them on here. Big guys, lots of arms. So that's what those guys were. So these are the 12 Titan children that came from Uranus and Gaia. They were the Oceanus, the ocean, Mnemosyne. I have no idea how to pronounce her name either. But Memory, Hyperion, the sun, which Helios was a son of. So Tethys was the freshwater goddess, unlike Oceanus, who was the saltwater. Krios of stars and seasons. Theia, sight. Koios, clairvoyance and prophecy, even though he's not the only one of prophecy, because Phoebe, mystery and prophecy as well. They can't make up their minds. They're basically the same thing. We have Iapetos, mortality, humanity, who is the father of Prometheus, and is said to be the ancestor to all humans. So basically, from his descendants came humanity. Rhea is the Titan of fertility. Kronos, time and fate, and famous justice. So the Titans mentioned, most people depict them as being evil. However, they were not actually evil. There are some stories that, similar to the gods, they're not one-sided. They could be cruel or benevolent. They could be nice, they could be mean, they could be stupid, they could be a jackass, or they could be a sweetheart. There was no telling with these guys which side you were gonna get. Even Kronos himself, who was considered like the most evil Titan, he's not, spoiler alert, mine is, but he was considered the most evil Titan, and even he was seen as a king, benevolent. Even he was seen as benevolent. There you go, editor. There's a better cut for you. Don't keep that in. I'll hurt you. We'll fight. Anyways, So even Hercules himself created an altar for Kronos and Rhea at Temple of the Gods. Like, it had all the 12 major, or had all 10 of the major gods, then Kronos and Rhea. Which is a little weird if the Titans were seen as, like, evil and humans hated them. But they just didn't. They were just kind of the things that came before the gods, and then when they lost, so that's why we don't talk about them anymore. Because we don't talk about the losing team. Fuck the losing team. Who cares about them? Oh, the Broncos lost to whatever football team's out there. Go sports. Oh, the Broncos aren't real anymore. This is why I can't keep track of sports. They've all lost at least once. It just reminds me of Charlie with the red string board from that one scene, and always, that's fair. That's fair. That's pretty much what's happening. It's like, there are so many different tales in Greek mythology, they cannot make up their minds. This means this, but then this means this! But even the so, if you really want to get into stuff, the Titanomachy didn't involve humanity and how Titans treat humans, and there's no telling when the Titanomachy happened, because there's a story that involves Hercules that is also said to be the cause of the Titanomachy, which I'll get into later, but it makes no fucking sense. So some of the Titans are considered to be on the side of humans, such as Prometheus, other guys I mentioned, Atlas, Rhea, Kronos even. They were considered to be on the sides of the humans. Before we get to the Titanomachy, because I forgot a whole segment, teehee, rise of Kronos. So Kronos, as you all know, is son of Uranus and Rhea, and the father of Zeus. So before he ruled the Titans, his father, Uranus, was the one that was in charge. I get to say Uranus a lot during this video. And I have that humor of a middle schooler. This is a problem. So Uranus and Gaia, as I said, had multiple children, 6 of which were not Titans. They were the giants and the Cyclops. And seeing them, Uranus was like, these bitches ugly. Yeet! Here, I'll draw you a good visual aid for this. I'll draw you exactly what I'm talking about. So, we'll say, this is Uranus. My humor has degraded, y'all. It's over. It's already too late. So here's Uranus throwing into a pit a small little baby with many arms. This is my best work ever, y'all. And many heads. I made it look strange, but it's there now. But yeah, so he would yeet the children that he thought was ugly just into the pit like, nah, ain't none of my kids gonna be ugly. Because Uranus is just an asshole like that. Unfortunately, this made Gaia sad, because she loved all her children equally, because she was actually a good parent, unlike Kronos too, but unlike Uranus! But unlike him, she was like, uh-oh, I don't like that you did that to my children. You're an asshole. Hey kids, who wants to beat up your father? Who wants to do it? Who wants to be the one that, embarrasses their father in front of everyone and makes him cry like a little bitch baby and take over his spot? And Kronos went, me mom, I'll do it! Kronos was the one that agreed. This is where it's gonna get a little wild. I don't know if or what kind of content warning I should put here, so editor, you decide that in the post for when this goes on to YouTube. But here's a fun bit. So she lured Uranus into a trap, being like, oh honey, come on, come to bed with me. You know you want to. You know you want to get a little nasty. The kids are asleep. Let's go. And so he comes to lay with her, and Kronos pops out and castrates him. Just cuts his balls off and yeets them into the ocean. I'm not drawing a visual. I was gonna say I'll draw a visual aid for this one, but then I'll get banned on Twitch for sure. But he just like yeets his balls into the ocean, and Uranus is like, ah! And like runs away crying. Now embarrassed, and that's how Kronos took over the rule of the Titans. But unfortunately Uranus cursed Kronos for his deeds, saying someday he will be overthrown by his own children for what he has done to him. So he put a doom curse on Kronos. It wasn't necessarily a curse, it was just him saying some shit like, oh, you just wait till this happens to you, sonny boy! You'll get your turn, you'll get your comeuppance when you have kids! So, Kronos became paranoid. Kronos became very paranoid as he had kids that they were going to overthrow him. And thus began the Titanomachy. So, Kronos being paranoid as he ruled over the universe, started deciding to swallow his children. And not in the fun way, like he waited until after they were born. After the children were born, he would just go chomp. What's the fun way? It's like, you don't get it, you're in the wrong place. Anyways, so, as a result, he started with Hestia, swallowed up each time they were born until Zeus, who Rhea hid. Because at that point, Rhea was like, dude, stop swallowing our children, you animal, you fucking weird creature. I don't want to do this anymore. Here, have some wine, get drunk. Oh, I'm about to have another baby, here, have some wine. And she got him very, very drunk, and instead of giving him the little baby to swallow, she gave him a rock. I would love to see a parent be handed a rock. Like, here's your child. Don't worry. Everything's okay. And them just be like, oh, yeah, of course, my child. And just, like, wander off with them. But Rhea hid Zeus. He was raised by a mixed dryad. And once he learned about what happened with his father and siblings, he went to go free them and overthrow his father. And how did he do this? He mixed some mustard with wine and forced his father to throw up all his siblings, and they came back out in reverse order as when they were swallowed. Was that my next bullet point? Nope. Cool. Wanted to make sure. Once this had happened, the war began between the Titans and the gods. Titanomachy. A lot of the people had to choose sides. Some Titans sided with the gods, others remained neutral. Most of them sided with Kronos, and most of the gods sided with the gods, of course. I actually don't know any story of the gods not siding with the gods. Because at that point, it was just 6 gods, and they were all swallowed by their father, so of course they're gonna join the, fuck my dad team. Not... I hate my dad team. Let's go with that name instead. I hate you, Dad. Zagreus would be on this team for sure. Anyways, with that being said, the Cyclops and had giants. This is the Alabama stream. Listen, it's not my fault ancient Greece did this. With that being said, the Cyclops and the Giants did side with the gods because they also... This is why I love talking about ancient Greek mythology. It's just so bizarre. The Giants and the Cyclops decided to side with the gods because, again, their dad yeeted them into a hole because he thought they were ugly. And that was it. So they were like, oh, we hate our dad too. You know what? We're gonna join you guys. Yeah, we hate our dad. The We Hate Our Dad Club. And the We Hate Our Dad Club won and drew lots for the domains, some coexisting with the Titan of that domain. Like Oceanus is still around with Poseidon, Rhea is still around, Gaia is still around. In fact, speaking of Gaia and some of the Titans going on in this, we have our boy Typhon, who is Titan of the cult that I mentioned, has basically made Zeus disappear somehow. They need to stop the cult Typhon from reviving the god to, like, save Zeus. Anyways, he has many different depictions. Most involve snakes. Most involve having many heads. Most of them have dragon wings as well. Some have the hands as dragons, which is my personal favorite depiction. So, like, when I think of Typhon, I think of, like, accumulation of all 3 of these. So, also, fun fact. So, there's many tales of where Typhon came from. He was a monster that was the son of Gaia and Tartarus, because after yeeting their children into the pit, Gaia was like, Uranus, I'm mad at you, I'm gonna go sleep with Tartarus, and they made a big monster baby, known as Typhon. However, other stories have him as being the son of Hera, because she was, like, mad about Athena, and so she was like, hey, Gaia, can you give me a child that is able to defeat Zeus? I'm mad at him right now. And it'd be funny, because he defeated his father. Curse keeps going, and Rhea was like, Lamau, sure. Tartarus is the giant hole. Yes and no. So there is the place Tartarus and the Titan Tartarus. Titan Tartarus, there's not very many depictions of, but he basically was the ruler of the underworld before Hades. He was cast away into Tartarus, I think, afterwards, though. The place, not the Titan. It gets weird. Greek mythology is confusing. There's not enough records. This is what happens when only oral tradition is left. There's no physical way to, like, keep it all intact. In fact, I think that the Iliad and the Odyssey were the end of a series of stories. So there's no idea what's telling. Like, there's so many mysteries and things that make no sense. Anyways, there's multiple ways where Typhon came from. And with that being said, I made a mistake. So Typhon technically does not count as a Titan. He is not listed under any source that I could find as a Titan. And I've been calling him a Titan this whole time. Now, I want it to be understood. He is usually the son of 2 Titans. So to me, that makes him a Titan. You know what his category is? Monster. That's it. Just monster. Like, no shit, this asshole is a monster. Look at him. I say that, but I'm also look a lot like him because I'm a dragon. Titans ever been young? Not that I'm aware of. Like, do they get older? Not really. Most of them are immortal. Born old and ugly. Yeah, that's what happened to the Giants and the Cyclops. They were born old and ugly, and Uranus just went yeet. Were they ever young adults? So it said that, based on the story of Apollo, which said, and Hermes, it said that they were born, but they rapidly aged, so within a week they were a full-grown man. So hypothetically, they were born as baby. ATAC ban Moose. Just straight up ban Moose. He's not allowed to be here anymore. God damn it, you're not supposed to agree with him! I would say fuck you guys, now only subscribers can hear me, but you guys are subscribed! You guys have subscriptions! My mod agrees with punnery. I can't believe this. But yeah, so to me, Typhon is both a titan and a monster, because I don't see why you can't be both. He's both. He's a monster and a titan, in my opinion. Same with Echidna, his wife, who we're about to talk about. So he was also able to control volcanoes, seen as the biggest danger to the gods. Like, the gods are terrified of him. They will flee versus face him. Like, they were literally scared of this man. So the idea that he's coming back is a big deal. If someone was like, oh hey, the Titan's coming back, the gods would be panicking. And then he was also the husband to Echidna, a titaness, and mother of monsters. So Echidna was basically the mother of creatures such as Cerberus, Orthus, the Hydra, Ladon, I think even. Many creatures that were considered monsters were the children of Echidna, which basically also meant they were the children of this ugly motherfucker back here. So that being said, Typhon and the Titanomachy. But so the reason that Typhon is supposedly got involved was when Hercules slew the Lernaean Hydra on his 12 tasks. Now this is where it gets confusing, because supposedly Hercules happened after the Titanomachy, but apparently it could have also happened before? I don't know. My headcanon is it started happening before. War between the gods somehow just did not affect the humans, or Hercules was in the underworld and that's why there's no information on it. But Hercules slew the Hydra, and Echidna, being the mother of the Hydra, was like, hey Zeus, your boy killed my boy. I'm sending my husband after you now. Good luck. And this was a scary thing for Zeus to hear. Because again, all the gods were scared of Typhon. So Typhon joined the fight, and all the gods fled to Egypt disguised as animals, except for 3. And 1 minor god, but I didn't list him because honestly I keep forgetting which one it is. But it was Hermes, Athena, and Zeus. Those were the only 3 that did not flee when Typhon broke out. When he started coming for the gods took off running. They were scared. They were terrified of this idea. Typhon actually did also manage to capture Zeus at some point. He took the Sinew in his hands and feet, leaving him trapped. He took the Sinew, he gave him to a dragon that was also either another wife or potentially his foster mother. It's not clear. It's like there's multiple stories. It's like if he's born by Hera, she's a foster mother. Otherwise, it's just wife. Could be both. Technically, it'd be sister and wife, but it's never mother. I mean, technically, it could be both too.
So that's why I said that probably in ancient Greek times, having relations with your mother could have been. Hey, Terrace, what's going on?
Oh. Ancient Greece is weird. He gave Zeus to her to watch over and took off. And Hermes was the one who was actually able to save Zeus, help Zeus get him his thunderbolts, and Zeus was able to defeat the Titan Typhon, and the next time they fought, and seal him away in a volcano. There's a few different places this could be. I'm not going to give away which place I have him, because that comes later. That's a fun thing revealed later. And then the fight between Zeus and Typhon was said to be the second to last battle of the Titanomachy, which is why it's so confusing of when did Hercules take place. I think Hercules actually did take place before the Titanomachy, which may be still why Kronos and Rhea were still worshipped and why there were so few of the gods. They just didn't exist yet. Like, and maybe the Titanomachy was happening, but Typhon didn't, because it said it lasted for like 40 to 50 years. I'm remembering something else. So it's very possible that Hercules started it during the beginning of the Titanomachy. And like 10 years down the line is when he slew the Hydra. And that's when Typhon got involved. Who knows? It's hard to tell. Ancient Greece is weird. The timelines don't add up. It's all scuffed. We're all screwed. It's all over. It's all over.